Welcome to MojoPlays. To kick off the launch of our brand new channel, check out some of our favorite videos from WatchMojo's huge library of gaming content. Then, click on the link in the description below to head over to our Suggest page and vote on how you would have ranked this list. The annual follow-ups to Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, you'd think some of these games would have a sequel by now. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 amazing video games that never got a sequel. For this list, we're taking a look at video games that received critical acclaim from both critics and gamers, but for whatever reason, a follow-up was never released or announced. Keep in mind that we're only considering games where a significant amount of time has passed, so any game released after about 2011 won't be included, as it's still a little too early to tell if those games will get a sequel. We're also omitting Psychonauts as it already has a sequel on the horizon. Sweet.
Rasputin, can you hear me?
Sasha? Where am I?
Number 10, World of Goo. Oozing its way to the start of our countdown is World of Goo, a breakout WiiWare game that has since been ported to multiple gaming platforms, including PC and iOS. The game has a simple premise. The player's goal is that they must create an abundance of several different structures and shapes out of goo to navigate a variety of environments. Simple doesn't translate into stale, however, as this puzzler proved to be extremely addictive for those who played it, along with winning multiple Game of the Year awards. It should be stated that one of these awards was GameSpot's Best Game That No One Played, which might help explain why we haven't heard anything from this hidden gem since. Number 9, Vanquish. A change of pace for Resident Evil creator and horror aficionado Shinji Mikami, his epic futuristic shooter Vanquish was a bombastic display of eye-popping action and exhilarating visuals.
What the hell's going on down here?
The game was just packed to the brim with style, combining all the right elements from various games and movies in the sci-fi genre. Just looking at the game's stunning presentation and how it was able to run smoothly with all the on-screen chaos earns it a gold star. But then there's the gameplay. Ooh, boy, the gameplay. The fast-paced nature of the game provides a sensational rush as you blast through the environments and bash your enemies to bits. And bonus points for being able to slow things down at the click of a button, Matrix style. Number 8, Alan Wake.
I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards.
Highly praised for its intriguing storyline, tense atmosphere, and smart gameplay, Alan Wake seemed to nail every aspect of its design, putting the management of your light source front and center as the main gameplay mechanic. The game did a good job of conveying a genuine fear of the dark. You basically had no choice but to be.
The cabin had gone dark. All the lights were out.
So, for a game to be such a hit with the community, it not having any kind of sequel is as big of a mystery as the narrative in the actual game. Hopefully the game's creators at Remedy Studios wake up and get started on the next chapter.
I didn't want to go outside. Cops had to be looking for me.
Number 7, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Why stop at Alan Wake? Keep the horror resurgence strong with a follow-up to this cult classic scarefest for the Nintendo GameCube. Long before Amnesia was screwing with the minds of gamers, Eternal Darkness had the Sanity meter, which provided a unique spin to its already unsettling gameplay. If said meter were to drop too low, strange anomalies begin to occur, including the infamous blue screen glitch, causing gamers to panic thinking that their console was on the fritz. For years there have been hints at a sequel, but any chance of seeing one these days seems unlikely, with developer Silicon Knights embroiled in 2 separate scandals for 2 Human and X-Men Destiny, and with a spiritual successor by former director Dennis Dyack unable to get Kickstarter funding.
To die, to sleep no more.
Number 6, Skies of Arcadia. controlling a group of sky pirates as they fight back against the villainous Jade Empire, this epic fantasy adventure was a standout RPG for the Sega Dreamcast and received the critical acclaim to prove it. Unfortunately, we continue the trend of positive reception not meaning squat when it comes to making more games. It's a shame too, as Skies of Arcadia had elements not seen in any other RPG at the time, including its vibrant and colorful detailed visuals along with fully integrated ship combat systems. Another standout was its lively and upbeat cast of characters, a much appreciated change of pace for a genre that's usually featured grim, tortured protagonists. No offense, Cloud, but you're totally emo.
Hey guys, there's a monster. I am my own monster.
Number 5, Star Wars Republic Commando.
You are a commando, an elite unit, something truly special.
Despite what the title and film depictions of clone troopers would have you expect, this game was not your conventional mindless FPS. Republic Commando was instead a tactical shooter, where a player joins a squad of 4 commandos and must think strategically to make it through every blistering firefight.
Droids incoming! Delta 4-0 is on the other side of this door. Place the charge and blow it. I'll warn him to step back.
It was honestly a nice change of pace from all the predominantly action-focused entries in the universe of Star Wars video games, placing you into the shoes of a group of characters that we hadn't seen before. Hopefully, we don't have to venture into a galaxy far, far away to see another game like this. Number 4, Grim Fandango.
Hey!
This list is really starting to bum us out. Another injustice in the gaming world is the lack of appreciation for the offbeat and eccentric adventure game from industry legend Tim Schafer. Let us rephrase this. The game was appreciated by critics who adored its sense of humor, imaginative storyline, and engaging scenarios. Unfortunately, reviews only go so far, as the product needs to make some moolah as well, and Grim Fandango completely bombed from a commercial standpoint.
Dios mío, it's full of double-end tickets. This could get 100 souls on the number 9 train.
Making matters worse, its poor sales played into developer LucasArts' decision to stop making adventure games altogether. Ouch. Well, at least we got that remastered edition last year, so that could be an effort to hold us over while they work on a sequel, right?
There's some customs officials down below, sir. They want to search the ship.
Fine, fine. We've got nothing to hide, eh? No skeletons in our closet.
Number 3, Bully.
Ah, yes. So you must be Hopkins.
Providing a unique spin on the open world genre that was popularized by their Grand Theft Auto franchise, Rockstar shifted their attention from cops and robbers to schoolyards and studying.
Guess what time it is? Yep, time for a beatdown.
Here, the player controls Jimmy Hopkins, who, after being forced into a harsh private school, decides to form alliances with other students to bring down a group of bullies who terrorize every clique in the academy.
You just arrived at the toughest school in the country, and I'm offering to be your friend. Trust me, in a place like this, you're gonna need friends.
The most remarkable achievement of the game, on top of its addictive sandbox environment, was that it made attending class enjoyable, as being successful in your courses rewarded you with valuable upgrades. Bully ultimately raked in a bunch of awards and nominations, but it never really soared to the epic heights of the other aforementioned Rockstar Sandbox franchise.
What's your problem?
All I need to do is...
What's going on?
Number 2, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Hang on a sec.
Rareware pumped out hit after hit for the Nintendo 64, and its game about a foul-mouthed alcoholic squirrel was arguably their finest accomplishment on the system.
Oh, fan-f***ing-tastic.
Not for the faint of heart. Conker's Bad Fur Day featured sexual innuendo, tons of swearing, loads of violence, and a giant singing pile of crap, quite literally.
A huge supply of tish comes from my chocolate starfish. How about some scat, you little twat?
As unorthodox as it might be, these elements are what made the game so wildly outlandish and endearing. There was just simply nothing quite like it at the time, with its combination of stellar graphics, perverse sense of humor, and unbelievable use of voice acting. Despite all the positive acclaim, the game was unfortunately released right at the end of the N64's lifecycle, and consequently flew right under the radar.
Hang on a second. Breath. She's a sunflower.
Yeah, what did you expect it to be? She's a sunflower with big breasts.
Before we unveil our pick for the game most deserving of a sequel, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Shadow of the Colossus. Garnering both critical and commercial success, with multiple Game of the Year awards and eventually being entered into PlayStation's Greatest Hits line, it seemed like it made perfect sense to develop another entry of this franchise. The game was pure magic in motion as we traversed the massive landscapes and battled the gargantuan colossi. Keep in mind that this was what the PS2 was capable of when pushed to its absolute limits. So, just imagine what could be done now on a current-gen PS4. We know that The Last Guardian is supposedly coming down the pipeline to scratch this itch, but we'll believe that when we see it. Do you agree with our list?
That is the question.
Which video game do you think deserves a sequel?
Right. Whose round is it? Yours. What, again?
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, and don't worry, we'll promise we'll keep making more, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Wanna make out?
Thanks for watching Mojo Plays. Be sure to subscribe and click on the link in the description below to check out our suggestion page and vote on what content you'd like to see us cover next.